Well, hey everybody, Backyard Scrapping here, and welcome to the final chapter of our refine. I'm just showing you up here that this is our test gold. It has been filtered, and I've doubled the amount of fluid with distilled water. I am going to denox it. Also, I added some sulfuric acid to it before I filtered it to get out any lead, which I did see a little tiny bit form, but we did get it out in the filter. So that one's ready to rock and roll. I just have to denox it and drop it. This one here was our mixture, or our aqua regia from the big button, the one that was giving me such a problem. That was before I did the inquartation. We took that button out. I inquarted it, and I am actually now dissolving the last. Inquarting it, like I said, would have been another complete video. Basically what I did was I added some copper to it, and I dissolved all the base metals and nitric acid, which just left me with a gold powder, which I then melted into a button again, and I am currently finishing dissolving it right now. And as you can see, even after inquarting it, we're still going to have a little bit of junk in there, but we're actually just dissolving what's left now. Then we're going to filter that off. We're going to add that to this, get it filtered off and denoxed, and we are going to do a drop, melt our button, and finalize this series. Get this one down the road. So as soon as that one finishes dissolving and we get the rest of that gold solution added to this gold solution, which was our big button from the processors, which we started with 8.81 grams. I'm thinking there's going to be a fairly decent loss. There evidently was a lot, in order for us to get a lockout, there was a lot of either silver or base metals in that button, because it just stopped dissolving. And I mean, and it, I tested it, checked it, and checked it and whatever, and it needed to be inquarted, so that's what we did. So anyway, I just want to let you know where we're at. I know I said I wasn't going to come in until we were doing some melting, but I wanted to show you that we are almost finished up. I'm actually going to go ahead and get this filtered off right now. I'm going to start working on that while that's finishing dissolving. I'll get these denoxed, then I'll come back at you when we are actually going to do the melt. We're going to, I'll show the drops again, because that's always fun, and then we'll let them settle overnight, and we will do our melts. So I'll get back at you when we're going to drop the gold out of this again and see what we ended up with. So we'll be back at you then. Alrighty guys, we've got our gold solutions both filtered out. I'm just got them lightly warming right now, so I can denox them. And I have our filter here. I'm going to go ahead and burn it and just see for the heck of it what was in it. There should be a little bit of silver there. I'm sure there was other contaminants in this. There was probably a little bit of lead, there was probably a little bit of iron, there was some copper. So we'll see exactly how much was in it when we do this drop and melt that button. But I'm just curious, I just want to see what's in this. So I'm going to put the camera on the stand, and we're going to melt this, burn off that filter and melt it and see what's there. So I'll be right back at you. Okay guys, we're gonna get this fired up and see if we get anything out of that filter. I'm kind of expecting a little bit of a small silver bead or something, but anyway, we'll see. Okay, guys, this is what we got out of that, and as you can see, we got a pretty good little hunk of silver there. I am going to test it to see if it's, palladium or has palladium in it. But we got a pretty good little hunk of metal there. So that's what was helping lock out that button. So, and it drops pretty hard. So that's what was in the filter. I know we're losing the light out here, but that, like I said, that's a pretty good little hunk of metal there. So I'm going to get these 2 flasks set up to drop the gold, and then we will get back at you. Okay, guys, we've got this first little batch denoxed, so we are going to go ahead and just add some SMB. And this was our test stuff. Trying not to hit the edge because I don't want to streak it. But this was our those little test chips, and this is all of it. This is complete. This was the backs and the ceramics, and this is the second refine that's been done. There is our drop. So this will tell us what those little guys would yield. I have to go back and look at my notes and see what see what our starting weight was so we can get a percentage. But there's that one. So when the other one gets warmed up and denoxed, we will show you that drop. Meanwhile, I'm going to stir this for a second and put her back up on the shelf. Let it sit till tomorrow. So we'll get back at you in just a sec. Okay, guys, we got this fluid denoxed, and we're going to go ahead and do our drop. I expect a nice little color change out of this as well. Trying not to hit the sides. There we go. I love that white and there goes our drop. Boom. And this other one that I set up on the shelf already, the little one, is almost clear. That's the difference. When you're refining or, doing a second refine or something, I got to say re-re for Clinton. When you're doing a re-refine, the gold falls out so fast. This will actually start to fall out while I'm stirring it. It may start to clear up a little bit. And I think I caught it on camera where you could see the little one clearing up as I was stirring it. But it really goes quick. But I love it when it does that, goes over to white and then boom. So anywho, that was this drop, our big drop. I already know, I can tell by the size of that little silver button that we got out that we're gonna be losing a little bit of weight here. There was a lot more contaminated material or contamination in this big button than I thought there was. And this, like I said, if I've been fortunate, all the processors and all the ceramics that I've done, and I know it's weird and it sounds weird, but they have all pretty much been gold. I never ran into this, the aluminum bond wires and that glue or whatever was used to, mount them or mount the dies. I just have never run into this before. So, like I said, there's always something new to go on, and I learned a few things and a few do's and don'ts. And when we get this melted and get inside, it's actually getting cold out here. I'm losing the sun. I've got the overhead lights on, and I want to just get this up on the shelf. But when we do our final tally, I'll go over a few things that I'm going to change the next time I do these type of processors. I just ran into a lot of little glitches here and there, and it's more than likely because that's, I just haven't done them. I haven't done the aluminum. Okay guys, there's our two drops. I mean, you can actually see in the one we just did, and I mean it's only been a couple minutes since I set this up here. You can already see the line here. This is the one we did about 15 minutes ago, and I've already knocked, you can see I've already knocked the powder into the corner of the beaker. That's how fast. When the gold is clean, you know, or pure, it falls out really fast. And I mean, I don't know how well you can see that dividing line, but we've already got about 1/4 of an inch dividing line here that's clear above this powder that's falling out right now. But this is still hazy, so that means there is still going to be more gold falling out of it, so I will let them sit overnight. And like I said, you know, a couple seconds ago, we're just gonna, you know, we're gonna let them sit, and we're gonna get out here, get this rinsed tomorrow. We are going to get this weighed. We'll get our final tally on our test. We'll get our final tally on our ceramic processors and our BGAs, and we will get this sent home. So I will see you guys tomorrow when we're doing our melt. So we'll be back at you then. Okay, everybody, here we are. Our final drops are complete. This was our test gold from our little test chips. So as you can see, I've got that knocked over. I actually let this stuff sit for 2 days. I didn't, you know, I was going to do it in a day, but I had some floaty gold on there, so I sprayed it down a couple times and actually left it sit for 2 days. Here's our gold from our BGA chips and our ceramic processors. So we are going to get this rinsed. I've actually got some water on to boil now, so we're gonna get this stuff cleaned up and get it ready to melt and see what we ended up with. So I will be back at you after I get it all rinsed and everything, and we're gonna get it in the dishes. I'm just gonna go through the melt with you. Alrighty, so we'll be back at you in a bit. Real quick guys, while my water it's coming to a simmer and a boil right now, I just wanted to show you that one more thing that I do that I never really mention is with every bit of aqua regia that I use after I do my drop and everything's settled and whatever, I actually take that aqua regia again and hit it with more SMB and let it sit, just to make certain that everything is out of it. And as you can see, these two are just clear as a bell. But I did hit them again with a little bit more SMB. We'll let it sit. I saw no reaction whatsoever. The Stannis tests were negative, but I still do that. I've just always done it just to be safe. So I just wanted to throw that in because I don't think I've ever said, you know, told anybody that I do that. So our water is just about there. In fact, it is there now. So I'm going to go ahead and get our rinsing done, and then I'll get back at you when we're going to melt. Alrighty guys, we got our gold rinsed. I'm actually bringing you in on this part just to show you. I don't know if you remember back a couple videos back or a video back where we were doing our moving our gold from our dirty drops into our dishes, how I had to keep squirting and getting rid of water. I'm going to show you the difference when you have pure gold. Look at, I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if I can get my hands out of the way. It's going to be hard to get my hand out of the way. I'm going to try and do it like this. You see how easy that gold moves down the jar? I mean, literally, it'll almost come out with nothing, with no water. I mean, just a little tiny splash, a little bit in there to make sure we got it all. But when that gold is pure, it will slide out of that beaker. I mean, nothing to it. So let me get it all into this center. I just wanted to show you that. I'll show you on the big one too, but you can see that beaker is clean. There's nothing in it. Let me get my water jar, my rinse jar. We'll dump this off, and then we're going to go ahead and get this melted. But that's another way of telling. When your gold sits very still, like this did, until you start tapping on it for it to move, that's a really good indicator that your gold is pure. When it sticks in that beaker, you know, you got some more refining to do. Alrighty, we don't even have to pause. We're just going to warm this up like we normally do. And then once we get it dry, we're going to go ahead and hit it with some good heat to melt her up. So this is our test gold. And I'll get back at you as soon as we are done melting our button. Okay guys, I'm going to pause here for just a second. My battery's going dead in the camera, so I'm going to change it, but that also gives me an opportunity real quick before this thing goes out to show you the color. Now that is good clean gold. You see that color after it's dry? And that darker gold in there, mainly because there's more of it and it's wet, it looks like that, but that's going to tan out too. But that is some good clean gold right there, some good clean gold powder. So let me go ahead and change this battery out and I'll get right back at you. Okay guys, we got our battery changed out, so let's go ahead and finish this off. I'm actually kind of glad that happened because it did give us an opportunity to take a look at that gold powder. So once again, till I'm done with the torch, I'm just going to hush up. Alrighty guys, there is our little gold button. I can't really see anything just yet. I can tell it's really, really pretty. Got our little cave-in right here on the side, and a little bit of a cave-in on the top, indicating high purity gold. Just a little bit of borax stuck to it. That's another pretty good indicator when nothing sticks to it. I am going to toss it in the pickle pot though. Wow, that little booger is pretty from what I can see. I can't see it real good yet. But there she goes. I'm going to change our dishes out and go ahead and get our big one melted. So I'll get right back at you. Alrighty, once again I'm going to show you just how easy this stuff will come out of here. Look at that. Look at, I'm barely even having to do anything. I mean, it's just going to come right out. I don't want to mess up and drop any of it though, so let's go ahead and do it like this. Get a little bit of water under it. And look at that, how it just comes right out. That is nice, nice, nice when it does that. One more little speck and we got it all. So let me get my rinse bottle. Hold it over here, we don't lose anything. Tap her down just a bit. Pour that excess water off. Nothing is floating, it's all sitting dead still. Now with these bigger ones, sometimes what I'll do is I'll take the corner of a paper towel and stick it in there to get that excess water. I don't let it touch the gold though. You just want to stick it right in the edge. Tip your dish just a little bit and stick it right on that edge, and it'll just suck that water up. But don't touch your gold or you're going to get gold on that paper towel because it will stick to it. Alrighty, so that's that. We're going to do the same thing. I think I'm going to pause and change this camera angle a little so you can see more down into the dish. So let me do that right quick. Okay, once again we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to go real slow until we get it dry, and then we'll do our melt. Okay guys, we're nearly dry. I just wanted to back off again just a second just to show you real quick the color. If I can get this torch out of the way. But the color of this stuff after it's dry. And you see how it lightened up? Alrighty, so we are going to go ahead and finish out this melt. See what we get. Alrighty guys, here it is. Nice little button of gold. It's actually quite a bit smaller than the first one, but it's also a heck of a lot purer than the first one. So I'm gonna drop this booger in the pickle pot. We're going to get this crap off of it. Then we're going to run inside and we're going to weigh this stuff up, get our results. Then I am going to melt them together and get my cut and send these boogers home. So we'll be back at you when we get inside. Okay guys, we are inside. We're going to figure up what we got now. I'm going by these numbers in here. They were like 1,000th or 2,000ths off because I used the scale outside for the other thing, but this is the numbers we weighed in here, so this is the numbers I'm going to go by. This was our test chips. We started out with 57.35 grams of the chips. We ended up with 1.11 off the caps and 0.28, which is a total of 1.39 on the first refine. So let me get my hands off the desk, clear this, put some dead weight on here, and see what we got. So our results are 1.35 grams on the second round. So second refine, we ended up with 1.35 grams. Okay. Now, 1.35 grams, let's see if we go 1.35 divided by 57.35 equals, and we go 1, 2, that's about 2% by weight. So our second refine, we ended up with 1.35 grams of our test chips. Okay, now we ended up with quite a bit of silver, and there was quite a bit of crap in this other button. You remember the button looked a lot bigger, but it's very, very dense now, very heavy. So let's see what we get on this. We have 7.48 7.48 grams in gold, 1.30 grams in silver. 1.30 grams in silver. Alright, so we had 8.91 to start with. So if we go 8, well, let's just do it this way. 7.48 plus 1.3 equals 8.78. And this was our processors, our ceramic processors, and the 0.53 grams we got from the BGA chips. So that's 8.78. We started with 8.91 minus 8.78. So we had a loss of 0.13 in other metals or other crap, which is not bad. So we had a tenth of a gram, a little over a tenth of a gram of other junk in this button. That was a lot of silver. I normally get a little bit of silver. I got a lot more silver out of these with the aluminum than I did this time. I said I was going to talk about a few things that I was going to do differently. If I come across, and we've got another big processor refine that's going to be coming up. I got a silver refine first. But if I come across this again, now this here, I kept all that. That's all little fuzzy. This is all the aluminum. Now normally, in the ones that I've always done, and have been apparently fortunate to get gold ones, this is all gold. You see, you're not losing this material. This is all gold. And a few videos back, I weighed, I tried it. There's tons and tons. See these little, they're just hanging there. So I didn't weigh all that. I just weighed that little ball. It's a tenth of a little over a tenth of a gram. But whatever. In any case, this is all gold in the ones that I've done. Also, the one in the with the gold ones, there's a different kind of an adhesive or something. They somehow or another they attach the dies differently with these aluminum ones. And also, there was a lot more silver in these. I have never gotten that much silver. I get a little bit of silver when I do them, but this is why we had such a problem dissolving this button. We had, we had almost a gram and a half of other metal mixed in here between the silver and, copper and whatever else, but we had almost a gram and a half in here, which pushed this up to that, right at that line where you have to incord it or you don't have to. Now, had I realized that, I would have just incorded this to start with and wouldn't have gone through all that crap that I went through. But this was a learning experience for me. So anyway, I'm going to just give him this button back, and he can keep that as a memory of how long this refine took. Which I just could not help. I mean, I either ran into a problem with the refine or something happened. I mean, I had hot water. I could put a list in here 10 miles long of the crap that happened over this past couple of months. I mean, just between vehicles, hot water heaters, it's just been a real hassle. But anyhow, so that's what we got. This is our total. So our total weight in gold is 7.48 plus 1.35, which equals 8.83, divided by 4 equals, so 2.2 grams of that is mine. It's 2.2075, which I don't care about, but 2.2 grams of that is mine. So I'm going to cut this button up. I'm going to get my gold out of it. Then I'm going to remelt his two pieces of gold together. We'll go back outside for that. and we're going to wrap this video up. So let me get this cut up. Let me get my portion of the gold out of it, and we'll get back outside and just turn this into one button. So we'll be back at you in just a bit. Alrighty guys, we are going to do the last 2 melts of this refine. I'm going to go ahead and melt my stuff together because I got a little tiny piece in there and I don't want to lose it. And then we'll do his. We'll go in and get a picture of them, and we will be calling this refine finished. So let me get this going real quick. Alrighty guys, there's my little button. Whoops. That's my little button there, which I'm not going to worry about tossing it in the pickle pot because it's going to go in my bin or in my little bottle with my stuff, and it'll probably end up getting refined again. And we will go ahead and get his stuff in here. I want to pour the little ones in without the big ones because the big ones will knock them out. So there's a couple little pieces right there. And we got that. I can put this in here. Leave this out here. And we will put his other pieces in here now. And we will continue on. This is the last melt of this refine. And that be that. That be that. Got a nice little cave in on the side. I'm going to drop this booger in the pickle pot. Clean it up for him. And we are going to get ready to get a picture of this thing, and we are going to send it home. So we'll see you when we are back inside. Alrighty guys, this wraps this refine up. There's my little button. And don't think my fingernails are dirty. I'm just showing you. I stained them again, as always. I don't know how I always seem to do that, but I do. But there's mine. There's that little button of silver we got out of this monster. And there is his. And I will take a close-up. Little tiny cave in there. Good sign. And there they are, guys. We did it. We did it. It's been a long haul, but we did it. Alright guys, our next refine is going to be some silver contacts. I'm going to try and get started on that first of the week. So, we will see you guys in the next video. Everybody take care and have a safe, healthy, happy new year.